tonight, criminal gangs are being condemned for sending boats into the Channel during storms. Despite the death of 6 people in the Channel last week, the unremitting flow of migrants across the Channel continues unabated. Meanwhile, property investors in this country are set to profit off the carnage.
There are thousands and thousands of people coming into this country by the boatload, literally, from war-torn countries, and you can make loads of money just by housing them. The councils are paying an absolute fortune to housing associations to house these sorts of people, so it obviously is a massive problem. So the best thing about it is they'll do all the management, they'll cover all the maintenance, they'll cover all the utilities, bills, no matter how high the bills get. They'll guarantee the rent. On top of that, they'll do really long leases, so 3, 4, 5, even 10-year leases. It's an absolute no-brainer, and it's making property investing much more profitable.
Credit to my colleague Darren Grimes for the video, who wrote to the supposed property investor on social media. He said, "You'll be offered an above-market deal paid for by the taxpayer to make a profit. Meanwhile, the British people struggle to get housing." The response, "Your government is funding it. Maybe take it up with them or something, you big-headed, shiny-headed news guy." Bit unfair there, but I'm sure Darren has been called worse. To discuss this, I am joined by broadcaster Ingrid Tarrant. Ingrid, thanks for joining us tonight.
Hello, Leo. How lovely to work with you. Thank you for inviting me.
And do you think these property investors are morally sound to be seeing this as an opportunity to gouge money from the taxpayer?
No, absolutely immoral. And I speak from a position of, I really can speak, Noni, because I am landlord myself. And I have a property in Portsmouth. So that is a very, very hot spot for housing immigrants. And I was inundated, and I would say inundated, with letters. Oddly, they were handwritten, beautifully handwritten, I must say, explaining, laying out everything, what I would get, and all the things that awful shiny-headed git, or whatever he was called, was saying just a minute ago. And I thought, no, absolutely no way. I wouldn't do this because it is immoral. It's immoral for very many reasons, primarily because we have a problem in this country and we have to look after our own first. Charity begins at home. And I'm not being racist, I'm not being horrible, I'm not being unkind, I'm not sort of, don't get me for the human rights things or anything, but that's absolutely where I stand on this. Quite apart from that, the road where I have this little property, it's only a small one, is residential. There's a lot of people that have lived there for years and years and years. And I think it would be very unkind and inconsiderate to actually have a whole load of people of a completely different culture because they ram them in. It's only a 3-bedroom, a small 3-bedroom, but there's a little front room as well, which they would have made into another bedroom. So they could have actually slept 8, and you can guarantee that would have been more than that anyway. So no, absolutely wrong. It's their conscience. If they don't have a conscience and they're just greedy, which they are, if they're going to do that, then fair enough. But I really think that they should think twice about it and have a conscience about it.
But it could be saving the taxpayer money. Instead of putting the migrants up in 4-star hotels, they could put them in these HMOs.
Well, I suppose that is an argument. I mean, what would really save a lot of money is they got their acts got together and stopped them coming in the first place. But I just don't know. I really don't know the answer. I know that it costs an absolute fortune. I think it's 167,000 a year per person, per immigrant to look after. I don't know how they work that out in terms of hotel or property. So maybe property is cheaper, but they are providing so much with the property. They would do everything, every single bill, every single improvement that needed to be done. So I imagine that landlords will be creaming that, I need a new roof. Okay, we'll put on a new roof. So maybe it divvies out. I don't know, but it's wrong. In my opinion, it's wrong, and I absolutely wouldn't go there. And morally, I wouldn't go there. My conscience wouldn't allow me to at all.
And we're seeing people dying in the Channel. What do you think could be done to actually stop this problem? It seems like the government's been hammering away at it for months, if not years, and has been stymied at every point.
Yeah, it's been going on for years. I mean, I think they've paid 168 million now, haven't they, to the French to stop them at the borders. I mean,
It's
I think they're
half a
making some sort of
billion.
effort, and the local mayor has been sort of like saying things, sort of like we've got too many miles to control. The thing is, they shouldn't get as far as France. Let's work backwards. Let's work completely backwards. And first of all, boots on the ground in the country that they want to claim that they're sort of like asylum to other countries and to get out. And there are genuine cases. So why can't we in the British Embassy and all the other embassies that are represented in these countries help them there in the first place? But when you think of all the countries that they go through before they even get to France, where they should be stopped, if they were to do part land and sea, so from Pakistan it's Iran, Turkey, and then from Turkey by sea to Greece. This is why I get those awful pictures. Do you remember that little child that got washed up on the beach? That was in Greece. So that's the one sea crossing. So you've got Pakistan, Iran, Turkey, Greece, all those places. Or if they went overland the whole place, Bulgaria, Hungary, Germany. Why aren't they stopped at the first safe country and dealt with there separately? Pakistan is not going to take them. Imran Khan said that. He's not willing to do that because he's already dealing with 3 million refugees. And so that's it. Well, we're not far off, sort of like if you add it in the cumulative. Uzbekistan, where they could go, they've got an armed border. They're not letting them in. They're really strict on this, and they're in a better position to take these people. And the culture is much more similar to ours.
But people want to come to Britain.
It really annoys me.
But Ingrid, people want to come to Britain. They don't want to go to Turkmenistan and try and find work there.
Easy Street.
Yeah, exactly.
Easy Street. And all these places, they've got armed borders, and you're not coming here. No, you're not welcome. Shove off. And it's like, yeah, well, we won't even, they know that. So they don't even attempt to go there. They come straight for England.
But do you think
so easy on
Ingrid,
them.
do you think to reduce the burden on the taxpayer, because we do pay a hand over fist. I'm not sure if it's £167,000 a year for each migrant. I think that might be what we pay other countries to take them. But I mean, it's certainly a lot of money, especially when you consider all the lawyers and legal.
It's 169,000 per person per year. I've got this. Look, I've been on my little notes.
Oh, wow.
Got that sort of,
that's me convinced. But do you think to reduce the burden on the taxpayer, some people say that asylum seekers should work. At the moment, they can't work for a considerable amount of time after they've arrived and started seeking asylum.
Oh, Leo, this is so messy. Of course they should work because they shouldn't be living for nothing. But if they work, then you create another problem. You're taking work away from people, citizens of Britain who should be able to work. I mean, students come out and they're going, we're not working. They end up going on the building sites, which is a lot of these people are doing. So, you solve one problem, but then you create another one.
And of course, if it's easier for them to work, then you're just incentivizing more people to come.